Welcome back. In the last video, we saved Minx and added him to the party. Let's get out of this area and we'll head to camp.
Not as bad as it could have.
And we'll level up Minx. So when Minx joins the party, it's super late in the game, and while he's fun to listen to, adding a ranger at this point in the game doesn't necessarily bring a ton of value. So it's something that we can only do if we recruit a Jaheira, so it's usually reserved for good runs. This is an opportunity if you want to have a character that authentically levels up from level 1 with 1 level in each class. There's an achievement in the game for that. You can also do that by just pulling any of the hirelings and leveling them up. So you don't need to do it with Minx. If you're opposed to using hirelings, he's a good opportunity for it. We're not going to do that. We're just going to level him as a ranger. So let's talk about rangers. So ranger is a martial class, like a fighter or a barbarian or sort of like a paladin. They've got some spells. They have a weapon style. So here he's going to pick up a fighting style. We could choose two-weapon fighting, sort of like Florentine, like Aragorn uses with torches, Weathertop. We could choose archery to generate bow damage. Archery is probably the strongest of the fighting styles, followed by two-weapon fighting. So two-weapon fighting allows your offhand attack to do your ability modifier and damage. Archery increases your to-hit value. There just are not very many ways to increase your to-hit value. It's probably the most valuable of them if you ever plan on using ranged attacks. We noticed here that Minx also has a super high dexterity and a lower strength. And while we can raise our strength with potions and do that for the other fighters and barbarians, we can take advantage of his high dexterity to use ranged weapons. So that's what we're going to do. Now, for spells that he might want, Hunter's Mark gives him a good use for his bonus action, so casting the spell and also reassigning it is a bonus action. It just adds a little bit of damage to any kind of weapon attack. And then we can take a look and see what other spells he's got. The most valuable one is Fog Cloud, so he can drop a Fog Cloud and move around to get better access to places to sniper from, right, or to try to get away if people are coming at him. For Ranger level 3, we get some additional spells, so anything that you like works here. Cure Wounds is not necessarily terrible to get someone up, although we've got a lot of healing potions and we would just throw one in that case. It's good to have Enhanced Sleep on a lot of characters just so that they can get around. The default subclass here for Minx is Hunter. This is a class that's designed to do better damage to creatures and sort of go on hunts. They're more solo. The Gloomstalker Ranger is similar to Astarion in that they would want to hide with a bonus action at the end of their attack. It's really strong, probably the strongest of the Ranger classes. I don't know that I would take it for Minx just because it's out of character for him. The Beast Tamer seems like the most interesting of those. Baldur's Gate 3 has a bunch of new animal companions with special abilities that they've added just for the game. So when I'm leveling Minx, I'm going to level him as a Beastmaster to take advantage of the interesting animal companions that you get in the game. So while Gloomstalker is probably, strictly speaking, a stronger kit, the Beastmaster is more entertaining and has a lot of utility that the Gloomstalker would not have. So that's what we're going to take. At level 4, we get a feat. For all of our characters, we always take Alert. That allows them to have a clustered initiative at the top of the order. At Ranger level 5, you can see, just like most of the strong martials, they pick up extra attack. Bard waits until 6 to do that. We've got second level spells. Of the Ranger spells, the strongest second level spell they can get is Spike Growth. It's very powerful area denial. We also have Pass Without a Trace, which is very sticky when it comes to making stealth checks and snipering. You can use this with your Gloomstalker Ranger to pass to maintain stealth for a really long time. Technically, also working for Minx. That again, not really stylistically a Minx thing. Spike growth seems more interesting. Silence is also pretty good, although there are not a lot of caster enemies, and because of the high mobility in the game, it's difficult to keep people locked in a silence area. At level 6, we get to pick up a new favorite enemy. We have picked up already a level 1 version of Minx, so he already chose Mage Breaker to start with, in keeping with his character from Baldur's Gate 1 and 2. The next best that we can pick is Ranger Knight, which gives the proficiency in heavy armor. Here we can take proficiency in sleight of hand doesn't seem all that interesting. We can take a resistance to cold or fire damage. Fire is the one that we see more often, so we'll grab that. At level 7, we pick up another spell. And we can choose Pass Without a Trace or Silence. We'll take Pass Without a Trace. It's situationally more useful. We also get some additional features, like we get a new spell slot, and we get this subclass feature where the animal companion gets to dash, disengage, and help. The help action is really unique on an animal companion, and it's great to have that where they can bring up a fallen comrade or something. At level 8, we pick up a new feat. Here, we're interested in Sharpshooter to increase our bow damage or new statistics. And we would use that to raise our dexterity and constitution. We plan on doing archery mostly here with Minx. That's why we took the archery style, so we'll take Sharpshooter as well, and that's going to raise his damage by a lot. At level 9, we pick up an additional spell. This time we've got level 3 spells. So Conjure Barrage does a little bit of damage. Daylight is situationally useful. Lightning Arrow is nice because it does lightning damage. We have lots of people that are running water elementals, which can cause the wet condition, which would make Lightning Arrow do double damage. Plant growth is pretty good since we've stopped doing fire damage, which would set plant growth on fire and make it go away. Still, lots of opponents use fire, and because they're using fire, plant growth is not as good as it could be. Protection from energy is okay. It grants resistance, but it's a concentration effect, so a little disappointing on that. We're going to take Lightning Arrow because it's a strong damage option. At level 10, we get a new favorite enemy. So we can look here and see that we get proficiency in religion and sacred flame. We don't have a very good wisdom, so that's not going to be great. Here we can get protection from good and evil. Here we can get proficiency in investigation, which will absolutely never come up. And people that we hit with ensnaring strike, which we didn't take, have disadvantage on their save. So the best option is picking up protection from good and evil. We get to pick another resistance here. We'll pick cold, and we don't need to replace any of the spells. At Ranger level 11, we get another spell. Of the options that we've got here, plant growth or conjure barrage, I think we're going to take plant growth. It's similar to spike growth, but there's no save. It's a little slower here, so we'll take that. And Minx joins the party at level 12. So we've got another feat that we could take. We could do something like Lizelle, where we choose to take Great Weapon Master, and then we can use Strength Potions so that he can essentially switch hit between close up and far away, or we can grab an ability improvement and raise dexterity and constitution. So getting some more hit points, more to hit and more damage, or the ability to swap in and out of melee. We don't tend to engage in a lot of melee, and when we do, it's mostly throwing people. So we're going to take the ability improvement, we'll add dexterity, and we'll add constitution. Minx doesn't cast spells that require saves, so having this wisdom doesn't really do anything. So there we go. There's Minx the Ranger. Thanks for watching the video. We're just going to end with leveling up Minx there, and I will catch you in the next one. See you there.